Hey guys, MCU Collector here with another figure review. Next up is the Hasbro Marvel Legends series Army Building Hasbro Pulse exclusive pack. This is the SKRULL Infiltrator. So this, if you guys are aware, and likely you guys are, there's been a number of different packs. So the SKRULL Infiltrator, and I got two of them, so I'll put those there. But Hasbro Pulse started doing a thing where they're like, oh, hey, we know you guys like army building, so what we're going to do is we're going to give you some cheaper options to be able to army build. So they first released the Hydra Trooper, as you can see there. Then they released the AIM Trooper, as you can see there. And then they released, and then this is the one that everybody really wants and has a hard time getting, the Hellfire Club Goons or Guards. So lots of different army builder packs. Hasbro Pulse actually just shipped out between yesterday and the day before. Shipped out all of the rest of their troop builders. So the SKRULL Infiltrator, the Hand Ninjas, and the Shield 2-packs. I'll receive my Hand Ninjas tomorrow, but my Shield packs are coming from Georgia, so it's going to take a little bit of time through UPS to get to me. So lots of troop builders going on. So the SKRULL pack is going to be the same thing, but we get a deeper red. As you can see, it's all a kind of a faded red with the older boxes. But the SKRULL Infiltrator has a bright red box, as you could see there. But similar style artwork that we had seen with the previous ones. You know, if you kind of put them together, they all kind of line up and everything. But that does look really good there. Oops. Kind of goes to the side, and if you look, it says plastic-free packaging except tape and glue. So out of the box, and because I already took the figures out, they come in this wax paper bag. So the Fortnite figures do this, and then a lot of the figures are starting to do this now inside the box. It's Hasbro's way of removing plastic trays from the packaging, and then of course no window, so you can see. Who knows if something like this will eventually make its way to retail. It is a possibility. Looking at the back, not a whole lot going on there, and the artwork that wraps around. But here we have the SKRULL Infiltrators, and you know what? They are pretty good because they use a great body, but they actually come with accessories that you can change up. So because with army builders, not everyone is going to look the exact same. So with the other ones that we've gotten, they've all come with one head sculpt. The Skrulls actually came with two. So as you can see, we have a grit type head, like Screaming, holding his teeth together, and then you have kind of the straight face one here. So, you know, the menacing look. And I'm just sorry, I'm kind of like pausing. I'm looking at the eyes. The eyes on these things are crazy. So as we get a closer look to these guys, I just now noticed it as I was looking at it. Pretty crazy. So the two head sculpts per figure, and then we have two different accessory guns that come with them. So they teased this once before on a Hasbro live stream. So it looked like a hairdryer, but it's actually this blaster type weapon, as you can see there. And it is just done in a cheap gray plastic color. Not the cheapest gray plastic, that almost translucent color. But this is kind of a little bit of a step up to it. And there's actually a little bit of marbleization in the plastic too. Not a big deal, but it's sculpted nicely. Silver paint would have been cool, but not, you know, at the end of the day, not that big of a deal. There is a peg hole there, so I wonder if like a repulsor blast or something could fit in there. I'm going to have to find one. You would think I would have one handy, but I don't know if I do. So I'm gonna take a look to see if we can get a blaster to fit on there, and then we get this other weapon here, and this looks new. I don't think we've seen this in the past before. It looks pretty good. One odd thing is we got this little peg right here on the side. So with G.I. Joe figures, you know, when you get those pegs, they can peg into a figure somewhere. That's not going to happen with this guy, but it's interesting that we got it there. It's done in the same flat gray plastic, but it's sculpted nicely, so that is really cool. It's cool that we get the two different options, so you can have your SKRULL guys, your SKRULL Infiltrators, and you can do different things. So, you know, depending on how many of them you buy, so say you get 4, you can have one holding the hairdryer gun with this head, the calm, the straight face, and then the other one with the menacing face. That could be a couple of different ones there, and then the opposite side, you could do the opposites with them. So that is actually really cool, the different options that you have. But let's take a closer look at these two different head sculpts, because man, the eyes look crazy on them. Okay, so here's a closer look at the Skrull head sculpt. So I kind of darkened it up a little bit just so you guys can really see the details in there. So his eyes are like a yellow gold color, and then the pupils are green, kind of a bright green. Looks really good. Really like the way these head sculpts on these Skrull guys came out looking. Pointy ears and the green all looks good. Really, really like it. It would be cool. It doesn't look like it, but it would be cool to bring out the details of the wrinkles in the face and everything if there was a little bit of a wash in there, but it doesn't look like there is. But even then, you could still see some of those details come through. So that is kind of the straight-faced Skrull head that it comes with it. Here is the more menacing look, and here is where I was all tripped out at first when I was showing you guys and talking about the figures, is because the right eye, the green is very, very noticeable and really stands out more so than the other head sculpt. And I'm not sure exactly why that is. It could be just the placement of like the green and stuff, because they're all going to kind of be different. Whoops. But if you look, like just that green on that left eye just kind of sticks out, right? So I just kind of got that same thing on this one. It just really sticks out. Looks really good. The teeth are painted white, and that looks good there, the more menacing look. But yeah, they came out looking really good. As far as the figure, because it's an army builder, a troop builder, and technically at a lower cost, even though I guess these are going to be going up in cost too, in the future sets that they release. But the only difference really with these guys is, they don't come with a Build-A-Figure part, but lots of figures don't come with a Build-A-Figure part and are still at the same price. Packaging difference and the fact that they're Hasbro Pulse exclusives, get the lower price, but there's not a whole lot of details to them. Although we get some figures that have kind of the same amount of paint as these guys do. But anyway, you kind of get this collar piece there on that dark, like indigo color. Same with the arm, like all the way up to the forearm. It's half painted there. And I wonder if that's painted or if the purple, I think the indigo is painted and the plastic is the purple color. The hip piece is that same color, and then the calf piece at the swivel and the feet are that same indigo color. So not a whole lot of paint detail or anything on this guy, but at least they used a really good body mold. We'll take one closer look at the accessories. So here is the hairdryer blaster. That looks good. Then here is the large rifle type blaster there, and that looks really good as well. But now let's zoom out for the articulation, and you guys know and love it, so let's check it out anyway. Okay, Skrull Infiltrators can look down that much. They can look up that much, so that is fantastic. Full rotation in there, of course. You get a little bit of pivot going in there. The eyes are a little bit, the ears are a little bit rubbery, so when you pull off the head, it shouldn't get too, it shouldn't be too much of a problem to pull it off. But they are a little pointy, so be careful there. You're going to be stabbing yourself a little bit. Shoulder actually goes up quite high on this body mold. You get a full rotation in there, of course. There is the butterfly joint, so again, you can get the arm to go up back crazy far and get it to go forward a little bit. If you can work the arm kind of a certain way, you get some crossbody, not a whole lot, but going back is a crazy amount. You have an upper bicep swivel in there. You get a double jointed elbow. This is not pinless, of course, because this is an older body mold, so about 90 degrees there. Wrists swivel, and they do hinge. Ab crunch, you can crunch forward this far, you can crunch back that far. You have a waist swivel in there. Legs go out that far apart, so basically the full split. You can't kick forward that high, which is really, really good. Goes back a tiny little bit, upper thigh cut in there. Double jointed knee, like so. Calf swivel, right where the two different colors meet. You get the swivel there. Foot hinges down. Little bit of hinge up, ankle pivot, pegholes at the bottom of the feet. Again, this is the I guess the new Spider-Man retro body would kind of take over, although some of the pieces are kind of about the same, like the legs and stuff. But awesome body mold, with some really good articulation. Okay, so this is really cool. So the hair dryer blaster. This is the Iron Man 20 Toy Biz Marvel Legends Series 1 20th anniversary repulsor effect. So I just popped it on there. It fits in there perfectly, and you have that blast effect, and that is really, really damn cool. I like that they did that to make that work. They had to have done that on purpose, and I think it is really, really cool that they did. But now on this one, here's where it gets tricky, because those peg holes are much smaller. I don't know what would even be able to work with that. Maybe the smoke effects that came with Black Widow. I do not have those handy whatsoever though, but I'm sure those would fit in there just fine. Okay, so in the comics, Skrulls are actually a few different sizes, or everyone's kind of all over the place. There's short ones, there's tall ones, there's big ones, there's small ones. So here we have the Super Skrull Build-A-Figure. Now, the Super Skrull is actually a specific Skrull, so it's not like a generic Skrull that you can army build and whatnot. I fudged it anyway, and I did get 2 Build-A-Figures just so I can have one that's depowered, and then a Super Skrull that's showing off his cool, fantastic 4 powers that he has accumulated. But as you can see, they had 2 different head skulls, so I can kind of fudge and say, you know what, 2 different Skrulls. So if you have those, and you have these new Infiltrators, you can have a big old Skrull army to kind of go along with it. I didn't realize that the body molds were this big of a size difference. This is essentially the Hyperion body mold. So it's a huge difference. So I don't know if the heads are going to kind of swap around, but we're going to take a look at that. Now with this body, you know that a bunch of different figures are going to be able to use these Skrull heads. I'm not going to do a bunch of different head swaps. You know, I don't typically do head swaps to begin with anyway, but I just also don't have a whole lot of comic figures here available next to me. I have a couple, I'll be showing you guys those, but first I'm very curious about these head swaps, if that can work, so let's check that out. Okay, so it's a little scary looking. Yeah, really scary, because tiny head, big ass head on this guy. But some Skrulls in the comics, depending on the artist and kind of what's going on, I recall seeing some Skrulls having some big old domes. So it's something that you can fudge if that's something that you wanted to do. If you wanted to build more variation within your Skrull army, it's something that you could do. Let's take a closer look at it, because it's kind of funny, but it looks way off. But I want you guys to get a good feel for it. Yeah, see, it just doesn't look right, and then the right here at where that collar and this plastic rubber overlay meet just looks really funky, really, really odd. And here, I mean, that's a big old head like on that neck, and it doesn't really fit properly on there. I kind of had to force it a little bit more than I would normally like to do. But, you know, you can fudge it if you wanted to, but it does look a little off. Okay, so the beauty of actually packing in the extra head is to build the variation, sure, but using those extra heads just to pop onto whatever other figures you kind of want to try it out. So here I happen to pull out the Falcon figure that came in the Joe Fixit Build-A-Figure wave, and then the new retro Hammerhead. So you can see a suited body that actually has the Skrull head on there. It pops on there just fine. It may seem a little bit small for the body, but I think it works. In Falcon's case, it's the same body mold as the Skrull Infiltrator, so naturally it's going to be a good fit on there. So you could do all those different things. Now, if you want to do a Spider-Man figure, you could as well, because again, it's essentially a similar body. Ooh, my retro Spider-Man head didn't want to pop off. This is not one that I would want to break. I need to be careful, a little bit more careful on there. Let's pull Hammerheads off. Oh, that one popped off. I guess that one wasn't as secure on there as I had kind of originally thought. So if you wanted to do like a Spider-Man Skrull, you could do that as well. So there's just a lot of figures that the heads are going to pop onto. Again, I'm not going to be able to try them all or anything like that, but it should be, for the most part, a universal fit. So I believe with this body mold, you know, Bucky Cap, they're very similar body molds and similar sizes on those those neck pegs. So it should fit most of the figures that you would kind of be trying for. But just to give you an idea, let's show you a couple of them there. Okay, and that's it for the Skrull Infiltrator review. Not a whole lot going to it, but definitely an awesome one. And this one's probably actually going to be my favorite troop building pack of them all. The shield agents were cool. Not the shield agents, excuse me. The Hydra agents were cool, but we've seen them. The AIM guys were cool, but we've seen them. The Hellfire goons were awesome because it was a new character, something that wasn't released previously by itself. And it just came out great, and that seemed to be the most popular one that everybody wanted. And then they sold out really quick, and they had, I think, one restock, but I haven't gotten them in, and then Big Bad Toy Store went crazy and we're selling them for $50 and stuff, although they've always priced things higher than retail. So crazy things going on with this one. So yes, we've gotten a Skrull before, but this one is awesome because we get 2 head sculpts, which I thought was the genius move on Hasbro's part, and then 2 different weapons, which were really cool there as well, because not only is it just, 2 weapons, it looks like 2 new weapons, so it's not like we're getting reused things over and over again. New stuff, so that is really cool. So this one so far is going to be my favorite one. The Shield 2-pack might take it, but we've seen Shield agents already. It's just all the different head sculpts in that pack are pretty damn amazing. But this one I'm really loving, and I think the one in this round of army building packs is going to be the most popular. But you guys let me know down in the comments below your thoughts on these Skrull Infiltrator figures. Were you able to order any? How many did you get? Let me know in the comments below. If you guys like this video, please do me a favor and hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you haven't already done so. And as always, thank you for watching.